Hello and welcome on Sport Updates. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. We'll be taking you through the world of sport, like update, giving you what's happening there. We start with rugby. Well, as we speak right now, Black Stallions of Nigeria, that's Nigeria male national team when it comes to rugby. They will be participating at the qualifiers for Paris 2024 Olympic Rugby Qualifier, where they face Zambia, Kenya, and Namibia in their group. Let's look at the group been set up by World Rugby there. We have in Pool A, South Africa, Madagascar, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire. In Pool B, where Nigeria will be fighting hard, we have Kenya, Zambia, Namibia, and Nigeria. In Pool C, we have Uganda, Zimbabwe, Burkina Faso, and Algeria. Well, they'll all be fighting hard at the Harare Sports Club from 16 to 17 September 2023 this year. They'll be fighting hard there just for the Olympics that will be coming up in 2024. And all these teams in Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C, that's what they use in rugby instead of a group. A good one there, but we hope that Nigerian can scale through as they face Namibia, Zambia, and Kenya. Well, joining me to talk about all this is Jide Olushola. Good to have you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes. Well, let's look at this together. Well, we just saw there, we have Kenya in our group, we have Namibia, we have Zambia, and we'll be fighting for this ticket.
As far as South Africa is on the group,
you're fine.
I'm very fine.
But watch out, because this is rugby. Yeah. At times, we look at maybe South Africa of this world that actually knows it, or Zimbabwe. But you see Kenya, I'm a bit careful about Kenya.
But at least I have more confidence that South Africa is not in our own group, or rather in our own pool. So it gives me at least more confidence that at least we can still go ahead and get a ticket for the Olympics. But with Kenya and others, we can fight our way through, or we can box our way through the.
No, we can rugby our way through.
Yeah, we will get through. But I'm just glad that South Africa is not in our, it's not our pool.
So the joy for you right now is that, okay, agree, South Africa is not our group, but we have Zambia. Always remember, Namibia, they are in fact, they share boundary with South Africa. So as good as South Africa is, Namibia is also very good in rugby.
We share borders with Benin Republic. Are they as good as us?
They are not as good, but at least they share it too. They can tap from us.
So for the fact that Namibia shares border with South Africa doesn't mean that they are as good as.
But we should be wary of Namibia, Kenya.
Yeah, actually, on the more serious note, Kenya, they're very tough one. Based on their records in the past, they're a very tough side to crack. But then looking at the fact that the Nigerian rugby is growing rapidly, kudos to the new president, Ademola, who is taking his time to ensure that the federation comes up. In the past, there was not much investment, there was not much report on hype or in fact investment in Nigerian rugby, but we have seen a shift from that in the past to what is now being done, and it's my desire to see that the game, of course, we are able to level up, if not beyond what South Africa has achieved in this sport. But it's a long walk, but we get there. So in this particular pool, it's like I said, it's going to be very, very tight for us, but I'm very optimistic that we will scale through and get a ticket to go to Olympics.
We are optimistic that Nigeria will actually scale through there, for the fact that recently Nigerian rugby is on a high pedestal. We are doing well, and hopefully they will do well in this qualifying pool there. We are in Pool B alongside Zambia, Namibia, and also Kenya. Well, all the names sounding so alike, Nigeria, Zambia, Namibia, but really we can scale through. All we need to do is to at least get ahead, good planning, preparation, and everything that we need to actually get to Harare, Zimbabwe, ahead of all these countries, and they get our hearts together to see how we can top that group in Pool B there. We're talking about rugby. We move straight to cycling, as we are looking for qualifiers, or rather the ticket in rugby. We are also trying to see how we can qualify in cycling. Team Nigeria intensify preparations ahead of UCI World Cycling Championship in Scotland. Even though we've been able to get this done, we just have to get ahead because we need to prepare of how to do well in this competition. When it comes to cycling, Mahrez has really done well when it comes to this sport, because he has really pushed for development of cycling development in Nigeria. Right now, we're going to Scotland, and Team Nigeria are training week in, week out to see how they can do well at this championship. Good one.
As the Nigerians will be playing in football, both at the male and the female level, so let our focus shift to the lesser sports in quotes. So if you have cycling, we have basketball, if you have rugby and co, in the Olympics. Good one for us because probably our medals can increase. Also, but I'm glad for what Mahrez has done so far. He has been saddled for several years now, and it's an Italian stroke in Nigerian. And we know how Italians are when it comes to cycling as well, because it's almost like their hobby as well. And and there's always regular competition for this cycling. And
cycling, yes.
They always go for one competition or other.
Either Benin Republic, you hear they have been to South Africa, Lome and all that.
Regularly. It's like as if every month there's one competition or the other that they go for. And this is good for the growth of the sport in Nigeria. And if they can, of course, now they are preparing for the Scotland Championship as well too. And right now they started training at the stadium there. And this will continue regularly till they get their rhythm, get to Scotland, and see how they can also get to the the Olympics as well too. So good one for the federation, cycling federation. They are doing massively well. Now all the Jordan, there is more support from the government and from private individuals. Let them pump in money, because these people, they need bicycles. And these bicycles are not
good facilities. As you are talking, they need good bicycle that they can that can meet up that world standard. Because I remember
they're not cheap.
I remember there was a time we covered cycling, and we saw the kind of the bicycle or web cycle from Morocco, Egypt. Algeria, Tunisia, compared to ours.
North African
countries. My goodness.
Yeah, so we need the bicycle we are using, well, almost like as if we're
outdated.
Yes, compared to what these North African countries were using. I was there. So we need to get all these kind of bicycles, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Say the cheapest can get is 1 million naira. I don't know, but that was then. I think that was about last year or so. So I can imagine how much it would be right now.
And there are spikes that will hold, that grip the pedal.
Yes.
You understand? Then the headgear that they will wear, everything is expensive about that sport. But really, like you said earlier, that if Nigeria can focus on other sport,
the lesser sport is.
I don't want to use the word lesser. It could actually be a bit.
No, call them lesser sport
but really, anytime media use lesser sport for other sport, is a bit kind of unappreciated, because no sport is less. As long as the footballer will not leave football and come and do the cycling. The footballer will not leave football and come and do the rugby of this world. The Ahmed Musa will not live there and come and do volleyball or basketball for Nigeria. He can only do that football, right? Yeah. Then these cyclists are also very important, because they go there as team Nigeria. And they can win so many medals because they have different categories of events where they will be competing.
Compared to football, just only one medal.
Only one medal. And really, if Nigeria, we've been advocating for this, 30, in fact, somebody said even 20% of the allocation given to Super Eagles, just 20% of it, channel it towards other sports, you will see how a lot of talented athletes will be discovered. They will win medals for Nigeria and will go places. Look at, we are talking about cycling now. Earlier on, it was rugby. Now we have volleyball teams, we have handball teams, we have gymnastics. You understand? Gymnastics, traveling out of Nigeria to go and compete. We have hockey. Cricket. We have cricket. Cricket is always also growing in Nigeria. So many sports. Badminton is there. These are sports that you'll be like.
Badminton, so just recently, they when they went for that, was it Kenya, Tanzania?
Uganda.
Oh, sorry, Uganda.
Was Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda. And they all won medals in different.
We won 13 medals, 8 gold medals.
In different categories. And we also broke record. Some of them broke records.
I remember one Chigozie and another Eriola there about breaking record in badminton. That is para badminton. Imagine we actually dominated that para. We have the able-bodied para athletes. What about taekwondo? What about judo? What about karate? What about arm wrestling? I've seen arm wrestling. Nigerians representing Nigeria in arm wrestling.
I agree with you.
That's a big one.
So it all depends on the kind of investment that government cannot do this.
Yes, even though, but the first thing is that, okay, if government give, for example, now, most of some sport needs to be given that official backup, okay, you are recognized. Look at that arm wrestling now. I saw the guy that represents Nigeria really dealt with the Ghanaian arm wrestler. It was as if it was just like that. He would just press his hands down.
Too much about
yes, and really, these are sports that we can channel. A lot of, not everybody will play soccer. Not everybody will do basketball. Some people are so good in doing what, in playing ayo. Some people are so good in doing traditional sport, Dambe, all the other traditional sport that we know. You understand? And they are so good in it that they may not thrive in football, but give them that opportunity. Give them everything they need. They can surprise you. They can actually shock the world.
Okay, when we go for Olympics, or we see our para-athletes in weightlifting.
Yes.
They practically dominate
Paralympics.
Yeah, Paralympics. They probably, they dominate everything, but they win almost all the medals, gold, silver, and bronze. Breaking records. So I agree with you that because so much emphasis are in place on football. I don't know why, but because it's the most popular sport in the world.
It's a beautiful bride. Yes. But let's other brides too. Let them feel important. It's just like a man having 10 wives or 20 or 50 wives, and one particular will always get the chunk of the whole budget of the house.
If you look at China now they don't focus more on football.
They spread their sport.
Yes, no, but focus maybe tennis, swimming, gymnastics, because those ones they dominate. Just the way US dominate
athletics and basketball.
Brazil football, thereabouts. But Nigeria, we are blessed that we can dominate almost practically
all the sports,
and we are doing that gradually. Athletics, we are almost unstoppable now. Thanks to Toby Amuson, Diversifying and Co. We're almost unstoppable as well too. In football, yes, we might have some.
And funny enough, even that football now that we carry, let me use Nigeria, the one we will carry for head, the one we carry on our head now. Where is the Super Eagles?
Unfortunately, in the last few years, it has been going down the drain. But cricket, we are doing well in cricket now. In badminton, we're almost unstoppable in badminton.
It's like the other federations or the other sports are now beginning to see that, okay, if we relax that, Super Eagles or football has taken over, nothing will happen. Let's come out. Let's begin to try our best. And really, I noticed that recently, mostly different sports have been achieving, even though they might be a bit underreported or not too publicized. But that's why I'm using this medium to check the media officers or the federation to make sure they get those on-hand media personnel that can actually promote whatever they are doing, so that people will know.
Because you and I cannot know every competition that's going for. So it has
from the media.
It has come from the media departments, and say, okay, guys, we are going for some competition. This is what's going on and everything. Okay, recently I was with the Navy. Yes, they welcomed their spikers.
Yes, the volleyball team.
The volleyball team. So I was speaking with one of the media officers, the military guy, that why was there no
news, nothing about the team
when they were going for this competition? The excuse was that there was no money.
Is it money that will type and send across different platforms?
Yeah, invite people and even sponsor some journalists along with you to go with the team and report the reports.
Let's even say he cannot
to
fund those ones, but at least from his own side, okay, let's push this particular story out. At least the cyclist that wants to go to Scotland, somebody push out the story. Yes. The rugby team, someone push out the story from the federation, and then other media platform begins to pick it up
and spread the news.
And before you know it, will go viral.
So it's just a simple thing now. Everything about money. Yes, money is good, for it to drive the media, to drive media. But then you can see create relationship with if you want to get value for stuff, involve the media. The money will still come out. Okay, look at English Premiership now, for example. Now, everything about that league has to do with media. If the media is dead, that league will not strike.
It will go down. But they make sure they push the narrative to the extent that, in fact, if you are sleeping, you can be talking Chelsea and Arsenal. You can be talking.
Look at that. Like
they are third-tier league of England. Almost everybody knows about it because of the push from media.
Look at now, FIFA Women World Cup now. Now they brought in so much sponsor because of the media hype about this World Cup. So it all depends. So if you bring the media, of course, the game will grow. The game will grow there.
We've been talking concerning developing a different sport in Nigeria, giving more accolades to other sports. Even though we know football has taken over, but we can push narrative for other sports to also thrive in Nigeria. Now, let's talk about Commonwealth Games. Are supposed to be hosted by Victoria in Australia, but right now they are pulling out. They actually pull out 2026 Commonwealth Games in Disarray as host. Victoria, Australia pulls out, citing the amount of money, over 6 to 7 billion in 12 days event. They are saying no, they won't do that.
They should take it to, but unfortunately,
They should take it to where?
Like Saudi, unfortunately, they're not part of the Commonwealth. You know, the Arab nations.
Only the Commonwealth Games members can host it.
Yes, because I'm sure if the Saudi, Qatar,
they will be happy to take it.
They will gladly take it up, but they're not part of the Commonwealth nations. But you're sad that Australia are pulling out, but I believe the committee, the IOC, will find a way to resolve
this. Maybe they can give them palliative to support them.
Something, because they look at that they'll spend so much money, $7 billion.
In 12 days. Then can they recoup the money they made actually spend in 12 days?
I wouldn't know, but
maybe that's why they are crying out that they won't be able. I'm sure they could have done their forecast and see that no, this won't work for us. If we spend $7 billion Australian dollars in 12 days, can we make it back? No, it's not going to forthcome. We can only maybe 4 or 5.
Or maybe I think because they're hosting the World Cup as well too, so their purse has drained. Then they should look for other options. I'm sure there'll be options.
Maybe they should be to Nigeria.
Nigeria cannot host now.
No, I'm just trying to put your legs anyway. Right now, we're talking about Commonwealth Games. Victoria, Australia are pulling out. Now, let's go to the World Cup proper. Nigeria will be facing Canada in a big match early on Friday morning, 3:30 a.m. when we are still sleeping. Nigeria Super Falcons will go out there to face Olympic champion Canada in Group B. Well, while we look at that particular Nigeria versus Canada preview, let's look at their head-to-head. They've met before. Let's look at it. Nigeria and Canada have met 5 times, and 2 of the meetings have come at Women's World Cups. Nigeria unbeaten in those 2 World Cup matches. They came rather in a 3-3 draw in 1995 and a 1-0 win for Nigeria in 2011. Canada defeated Nigeria twice in friendlies in recent years before the sides played out a 2-2 draw in their most recent meeting in April 2022. From the way it is right now, if I'm to balance it, I think we are at par, both of us.
Now, the last matches that we won, how many years ago? Okay. Compared to now.
So you want to agree that we're on par, right? So it's
see, I don't want to base my judgment on this particular record because that's with the times of the Messi, Agiga and Co.
And that was what happened to Norway. Norway was looking at we are the former world champion and all that.
So those days when Super Falcons were really Super Falcons in Africa, they were really dominating, so they could challenge anybody in the world then. And that was when we also got to the best stage of the World Cup. That's quarterfinals, I think in 1999 or so thereabouts. That was when we were very, very good. Not compared to now, under this around the one drum, that I do not have any. Okay, let me not go for that.
Just swallow it.
Because this man has not improved the
Super Falcons.
He has not. We had our worst experience. I mean, our worst AFCON experience. Sorry, our AFCON experience under him in Morocco last year.
Do you know why I'm not blaming the man? I'm not blaming Wardrum. It's not his fault. You know why? We went for him. He was sleeping. Oh my goodness.
Went for
he
him?
Was in USA. Is it Ghana that went for him? Is it Congo? Is it not Nigerians? Is it not the NFF?
I don't know. Yes, I don't know what NFF.
It might not be this correct NFF. I remember he was appointed during Amaju Pinnick.
Yes.
So Amaju Pinnick is from Nigeria with his executive members or NFF as a whole. They went for Randy. Randy didn't write okay, even if you apply to anyone or they come and take me or come and get me, he didn't force them. They approved him to come and
it's
coach.
A college coach.
They didn't know that he's a college coach. No, let's be sincere.
Of course.
Now you are looking at this. This is white, and you need black. But you still go for the white and you want black. So it's not the fault of the tab that you are picking the white.
So
they know he was or he is a college coach and went for him.
He's still Super Falcons' job is like a part-time job for him. Once Super Falcons,
why must they make it a part-time job?
Once Super Falcons are not playing, he goes
back to his University of Pittsburgh or thereabout
and be coaching the soccer team there and everything. So it's so unfortunate that I don't know what NFF saw in him by employing him. Okay, now they've employed him. He has not done.
When they saw that he wasn't doing well at the first 2-3 matches, why wouldn't they just let him go? Why couldn't they just let him go and get someone else?
I expected that they would have won
before he got to this level.
Yes, I expected if when they start having that back and forth, I expected that
they wanted to sack him according to the news that came out, but they couldn't because of maybe one way or the other intervention thereabout.
Ministry intervention. But they should have sacked him. Nothing would have happened. They have sacked him. Yes, we will look.
If they have sacked him now, it would not have actually spoken well because they are already at the World Cup. It will have
Spain
a lot of
sacked.
effect on the players.
Spain.
But they should have done this 2 years ago.
Spain sacked that coach.
Are we Spain? Are we Spain? No, wait, let's tell ourselves the truth.
If at that
are we
point,
as organized as Spain?
If at that point, Randy Van Dam could talk back to the employers, now say different things, please let him go. So now it was holding Nigeria to their neck by their balls.
Because,
so to say,
because the NFF caused it.
So now they are helpless.
They caused it.
But
let them face the helplessness they actually brought. But it's just painful that, you know the most painful thing? It's just painful that the NFF, who actually right now, I don't want to say they are facing the heat, they are not facing any heat, but it's Nigerians that are not happy because their team, they expect a lot. And they want to see a lot from Super Falcons, a lot of expectations and all that. And we know that Wardrum is not the right person, but NFF really brought this man on our neck. We've seen so many coaches that NFF employed, and I don't know how the yardstick and whatever it is, or because of the whatever I'm sure you understand my hand like this. But really, it's not a good thing for our football. They should not be toying with Nigerians' emotions, giving a lot of people high blood pressure. Why they sit down there and they be making it look like it's just a normal thing. And then when things go wrong, look at Super Eagles now. They are not saying anything. P0. If anything happens now, I'm not praying. I'm not actually a doom person.
If we don't go for World Cup this time around,
that was how we started.
It's going to be a big shame. Right now, Super Eagles does not have a coach.
And they know we don't have it, but it's still there. If Zero is there, we will see it. We will use the qualifier. We will use this to judge him if he performs well. But you know already what is the problem. And
General is waiting in the wings. General knows the Super Eagles very well. He knows the player's strength and weakness. So
it's painful.
So Benin Republic is my biggest threat. In our group.
Let the Super Eagles face their. Let's even talk about the ladies, Super Falcons.
Okay, now against Canada, I said I don't want to base my judgment on
the coach. Talk about the players.
Yeah, the players themselves, they are determined. Just that we don't have players like Ajibade. Ajibade not be playing because she's serving too much ban. She has already served one ban, so she'll miss a game against Canada tomorrow. Ajibade is going to miss. Ajibade and two of them.
Alimatu Ayinde.
Yes, both of them they will miss this game against Canada because of their ban. But by and large, we have Oshola, who to me is African best female footballer in the world. African best footballer. So she might do the magic. On the men NAB, she's the oldest. So her experience can matter. That's if she starts the game. But I believe she will start the game again because they need that experience at the back line and everything. And of course, you have a very young goalkeeper who can do the job, who can, of course, prevent the goals from coming in. And our midfield is very compact. We have young and fast midfielders in the team. So, but then against the Canadians, it's going to be a very tough one for us, as because these ladies will come out for blood. I've not defeated Nigeria in a very long time, except for the friendly matches. So, but friendly matches cannot be compared to the real game. So, but it's going to be very tough for Nigeria tomorrow morning.
How tough is it going to be? Because right now we know, yes, Canada, they are the defending champion. Leaving that aside, performance-wise, player by player, really a tough one is going to be. Looking at all that we mentioned earlier, that could actually be factors that could affect the team psychologically, their coach, NFF issue of money.
Money matters.
Yes, because they are also dragging that, even though they are making it hush-hush for people not to know, but we know that a lot of things are not going well with that squad.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. And our NFF can be, let's say, if we talk out, they you are going to be Marlene. You are out of the team and everything.
Okay.
So against Canada, I think if I'm to give my scoreline, as a patriotic Nigerian, it should be 2-1
in favor of Nigeria.
In favor of Nigeria.
Okay.
Because if we start on a bad note in this group,
hopefully they can pick up.
Yeah, we can pick up, but it is going to be it will demoralize them. So we need to start on a very on a winning note against Canada, and it has to be against Canada. If we can defeat Canada, our morale, our confidence will be so high to be against other
nations,
including Australia themselves.
A good one there coming from Jide Olushola, who has done his bit analyzing all the stories that we want to talk about. Let's just take transfer story and we wrap it up. Fulham table £15 million. Right, anyway, let's talk about this. Manchester City targets Barcelona winger Raphinha as a replacement for Riyad Mahrez, and also Fulham table £15 million for Calvin Bassey of Ajax. They want to get him, and right now Fulham and Brighton are really fighting to get the Nigerian international to sign for them. them. Those are the two stories on transfer that we have for you. I just have to go now. Yede Olushola, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.